21st meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Chuck here. Alan
Here.
Miriam
Here.
Steve
Here.
Tom.
Here. Next up, we have citizen input. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Name and address for the record.
Ed Malik, 1216 Lake Street. And first of all, I would like to thank Public Works and the town of Dyer for taking care of the property at 1222 Lake Street. It took 2 years with me coming to meetings every month to get it cleaned up. And it's cleaned up, but now the problem is, what are we going to do going forward with code enforcement? I don't know if the gentleman's there. If he's coming back, I have no idea. It's going to get overgrown again. Winter's around the corner. It's not going to get cleaned. What's the agenda?
Yes, okay. Little background on it. There is a house that has been needing some work for some time. We've gone over there and the homeowner has put together a somewhat of an effort in the past, not a effort that everybody agrees with. There are some issues that prevent it from physically doing it themselves. So this last time around, Public Works did go out there and do a great job. They got it up to code at this time from the curb. And as of right now, code enforcement advises that this current situation is acceptable.
Right.
Gentleman is correct that it most likely would fall into violation here once it starts growing again. But at this particular moment, it did get up into code. There's some HIPAA reasons why we can't get the information of if or not the gentleman is going to return. But I think that it is on our radar. It has been on police department's radar. I know Chief Alcott has swung by the property himself. I did as well. And I know Assistant Town Manager Jackham did as well. And again, Jeff's crew did a great job.
Yeah, they were out. They were out early.
The concern is there, given the history of the property.
Yes.
There's probably no doubt that it will fall into a violation in the near future.
The other thing is there's that one structure in the backyard that was put up without a permit, and the other wooden structure that was put up without a permit, because he did brag to me that I didn't get permits. So, I mean, that's been another part of the 2 years of fighting to get this property cleaned up. I know the gentleman from Parks Department said that, you know, that's something they can't touch. So this is what I said. I know an officer came by and I talked to him, and he said, he kind of directed that, well, if we see anybody that we should call. It's not my responsibility to monitor the neighborhood. I mean, we're not a neighborhood watch, but if
I think he's saying that if you see anybody, give us call the police.
Right.
So because going by there constantly, it's a hit or miss.
right,
If you see somebody there a certain time of day and we can contact anybody, any contact. So it's not that we want you on constantly, but if you see somebody there, call us. We'll send somebody so we can make a new contact with the person that's possibly there and try to resolve.
but the question is, do we call 911 or do we call the station? Because I know when I called the station for a wellness check about a year ago, I got transferred to 911. All right,
The system's different.
yeah.
It's not. All 911.
Mm-hmm.
If you need a response to your property, the 911 is the only way to get someone dispatched, whether it's police, fire, ambulance, even if it is just for a code enforcement issue.
Is there going to be any increase maybe in patrols in the evening hours?
We've been patrolling around that house vacant because of the situation and try to find somebody that's there. That's our main concern. Not to prevent anything more than to try to find a new contact.
Mm-hmm.
And as town manager advised,
Right, I understand the HIPAA laws and all that. There's also another house right on the corner of Lake Street and Monticello on the southwest corner or northwest corner. I don't know if it's occupied or not either. And now it seems every 2 weeks somebody comes by, cuts the grass, and that's it. I don't see any lights on in the house, no vehicles. I know it was up for sale and it sold, but don't have a clue what's going on with that one either.
Mhm.
And again, that grass now has been 2 weeks since it's been cut. And what's the street behind us? Cedar?
Cedar.
Yeah, there's a house on Cedar. It'll be second house on the east side of the street, south part of Cedar. It's got an in-ground pool with a fence that's got no lock on it and the fence is open. And again, there's another house that seems like there's nobody living there either.
Unfortunately, I think, not to cut you off on that one, but I think honestly, if you travel the streets, there's probably one of each of those instances on every street that we're trying to keep
Right.
for. When a house goes vacant and falls into that zone with the bank,
Mhm.
they routinely don't touch it for at least 12 months, which hurts us on the code enforcement
know.
side and trying to get someone. You have my direct contact now. You have code enforcements. I would say we are on top of Lake Street now. We got it to a level that we're
Yes.
acceptable with, and we're committed to keeping it to that
Well,
level.
the gentleman did a beautiful job, even though I don't know how they avoided all the wasps because they were all over there. I know the gentleman the family that lives on the south side of that property have complained about getting stung by wasp and everything, but as long as, you're on it, because you and I have spoke before about it, it's just, we got to stay on top of it because it's, once they redid Potomac and they took all our trees down, it looks like a war zone in there now with the beautiful canopy we had before down Potomac. Now we have no trees,
Yeah.
which when the construction company said, oh yeah, we're going to put it back the way it was, which still waiting for my grass to get put back the way it was.
Well, I
That it?
encourage you to routinely send me your list of quality control complaints in your area, and we will address them.
No problem. I thank town council and everybody else for getting on this problem. It's been a long 2 years coming, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have a public hearing, which is an amendment to an ordinance that we recently passed, ordinance 2022-14, the water utility rate the decrease. My understanding is this amendment is just to change some verbiage, and because it was an amendment or an ordinance ahead of public hearing, we're having another. So I'll open that up now for any public comment. Second call for any public comments. Third and final call for any public comment. And I will close the public hearing. We will address this ordinance later on in the meeting. Next up, we have the consent agenda, and I'll be seeking a motion to accept the consent agenda to include the minutes of the August 17, 2022 council meeting and claims totaling $1,611,300.65.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented, including the minutes of the August 17, 2022 town council meeting and claims totaling $1,611,300.65.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alicia. Aye. Alan.
Aye.
Mary.
Aye.
Steve.
Abstain.
Bob.
Aye. Next up, under announcements, we have a proclamation. Councilman Kramer.
Thank you. If you don't know, we have the only resident that I'm aware of that turning 100 years old in Dyer. Friends and family have reached out and neighbors asked if we could do a little proclamation on behalf of the whole town council and the town of Dyer. Proclamation honoring and celebrating the 100th birthday of Joe Hoadley. Whereas Joe Hoadley was born on October 7th, 1922, and has been a resident of Dyer since 2006. And whereas to his life, he has seen many changes to our community and our world. And it's an understatement, isn't it? Whereas the town of Dyer desires to publicly recognize Joe upon the occasion of his centenarian birthday. How do you pronounce it? Thank you. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Dyer Town Council hereby offers its admiration, congratulations, and very best wishes to Joe Hoadley and his 100th birthday. Be it further proclaimed that the proclamation shall be delivered to him with our best wishes for many more happy years of health and happiness, adopted and proclaimed by the Town Council of the Town of Dyer, Lake County, Indiana, this 21st day of September 22nd. We've already all signed it and it's going to be delivered. So even though it's not here, can you give him a little congratulations? And you should all be so lucky to make it that far. Thank you for allowing me to read it.
Thank you. Next up, we have reports. We'll start with the town council and we'll start with Ward 2.
Okay, I have two things. I was not at the park meeting last night, but I wanted to congratulate Justin Burbrick. Thank you for joining the Parks Department. I was very excited to hear from Councilman Kramer last night that you're going to be added on. So that's nice. We've had a lot of discussions, so we're going to do good things. And also I had a post that was sent to me by a neighbor in the Schilling estate on Schilling Drive that the construction workers over there, a child got off the bus in the wrong area, and the construction workers stopped and knew to where she was supposed to go and walked her to her house, knocked on the door. The father was actually right behind the bus, but they didn't know that. But they stopped construction to make sure this little girl got to the house. And the dad asked me to say thank you to those construction workers and also Brian at Public Works because he was very helpful. So I wanted to pass those two things on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ward 3.
I just wanted to thank everybody that participated in the DAV walk Saturday. Trustee LaRue's office, the Parks Department, Public Works, Fire Department, Mission Barbecue for donating food. We had a good turnout. It was a great event. So I just wanted to thank everybody.
Thank you. Ward 4.
I wanted to follow up with the DAV walk. I was there earlier in the morning, was so well organized. Everybody was there and everybody was enjoying it, but it's certainly a profound moment when we have that good of a turnout for the town of Dyer for our disabled American veterans. And the second announcement I have, I'm going to refer to Mary, who has an announcement to make. The other Mary.
Hi. Just get it. This year in January, we lost an amazing person in our community, Joseph A. Renz, and we're going to dedicate a memorial bench that we put together at Pheasant Hills on October 3rd at 10 a.m. Father Muha from St. Joe's will do a dedication and bless the bench. We'd like you to attend.
Thank you. That's it.
Thank you. Ward 5.
Thank you. Want to echo the same sentiments from all the others on the DAV walk. I want to thank all of our first responders, the police, the fire, and including our Department of Public Works, always out there doing a great job. Thank you, everyone that works there on our behalf. Justin, I've watched this young man since he's a little kid grow up, go to school. Pretty good ball player too, back in Little League. But what a fine addition we're going to have. And as I said at the park board meeting, this is an investment not only for today, but for our future. And I thank Nanette and the park board for doing a wonderful job finding him and going over everything and selecting him. We are prepared for the future and I'm proud of him. Another thank you should go out to all of our boards and commissions and all our other town employees. Very seldom do they get recognized for the work that they're doing. It's very, very important. So I want to say thank you. And last but not least, in my job working with the union, we have worked with FEMA And could you, I'm sorry, what was it? On the, for the Rents family, remind me to talk to you because, when we worked with FEMA, we've come up with a program to them for families to get money of those who passed away from COVID. So we can talk and I can provide the paperwork and you can.
Thank you.
Anytime. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you. I don't often take an opportunity to say anything for Ward 1. I have two things I'd like to say. Two things I'd like to say this time. Jeff, the Public Works Open House was fantastic. Saw a steady stream of residents through there. For my family, being had a great time. And I typically tend to, throughout the year, as residents ask about different things. Why do my streets flood? Why, what's going on with sanitary, what's going on? I encourage a lot of people to go there because if you have any questions about how anything works in town, that Public Works Open House is top notch. And I can't thank you and your team enough to take time and do that. It was very thorough. Everybody had a good time. All ages, like I said, from Liam 6 to myself to all the other people we saw. The next thing I wanted to mention is occasionally my professional life intersects with Dyer. Yeah. So twice in the last week, I've seen Chief Martin and his fire team at two different locations this past week. And I just want to say that it was nice seeing you and your team out there and the department that you're building and that response, the respect that your department in the town is gaining from the surrounding communities. And watching you guys in action because I'm thankful as a resident for what you're doing. But that's all I have. Next up, Clerk Treasurer.
As you know, we're working on budgets. Frank and Dave and I and all the department heads. We'll have our meeting on October 5th. It gets downloaded this Friday. And then the second reading is on the October 19th schedule.
Thank you. Next up, Town Manager.
Most of my reporting is on an agenda item, but I did want to reiterate that we are a busy little town with the projects. Recently, I was asked to put together some of the ongoing projects so that they can be, publicized in our newsletter and through media. And after project number 20 of writing on the boards, I realized that we got a lot going on, and that's good. It's a sign of progress, and everybody should be very, very pleased working together as a team to pull together. And the accolades are there. The awards from the Times, the Safest Community Awards. That's all a team effort. And I just wanted to take time to thank our management team and the cooperation we have with the town council to get this done. In saying that, I welcome Justin aboard that management team and look forward to the final piece to close that up. We believe that we have all the right stuff to make it work. So we look forward to running solid and completely full again for you guys. Some road projects that Neil will get to later, but Route 30 road work, you've seen that one. It's caused headaches in the morning, afternoon, weekends, and all that. We'll try to keep you updated as best as possible. Myself and Chief Olcott attempted to work with NDOT so that we could make it for the best passage for our motorists. However, apparently closing the one lane down at the beginning of the project and opening the one lane up when the project's completely done is the best choice that they could come up with. There's no in between. So there's many days out there where you didn't see anything happening and Route 30 was backed up for a while. It's not because we didn't try. We kind of got overridden on that one because it is a state road and a state project. So we'll keep you posted on the update and the progress. They will continue on the westbound lanes. They are skipping intersections as to not affect an entire area at a time. And then when they get to the state line, they'll turn around and come back eastbound. Town Hall will be closed for a period of time. The entrance of Town Hall, we're hoping it to be very minimal. We'll let you know. Kaler Middle School will be affected. We've already got a plan in place through the police department. our office and transportation. So we're trying to make it the least impact on the people that travel that area. Two-stage ditch, Brian Lane was going to be here tonight to give you an update on it, but he had planned time off. So you notice the trees are being planted out back. There's a lot of them and they're going in. Just approximately off the top of my head, 400 trees, 1,100 bushes are all be in that area. So it's going to take, even though we were all getting accustomed to what it looked like and like the rolling little look of it, it's going to have a lot of greenery added to it. So keep an eye on that. And clerk treasurer already gave you an update on the budget process. It is in full swing, late nights and crunching numbers. So look forward to give you updates in October.
Is there any update on the trail application?
The trail application through the grant you're talking? Yes, it has not been released through NERC yet. We have reached out and advised Cheryl that we'd like to work on it together. And we are working with NERC on it. But yes, we are going to complete that as soon as it is released for us to complete.
Cheryl got back to you.
Mr. Volkman is scheduling a meeting with us, and I just noticed that he has announced that his tenure will come to an end in December. So he's probably planning the last few months of his working career here. So I don't know how quick we're going to plan that, but we will definitely get with Cherville and get that rolling. The grant is supposed to be open for September, October with NERC, and our local Mitch Perloga is the one that's kind of keeping us on track.
Thank you.
Next up, town attorney.
Just a few updates. Litigation cases, NIBLUM, that's the federal cases ongoing. Our insurance counsel is again doing that. We did a conference call a few weeks ago just about an update of strategy planning. Rosati's case is going in collection. The Speedway case, there's a status on that set for the 29th where we will get case management dates. And then this may be appropriate for RDC, but I'll throw it out there anyway. We reached an agreement with the Gettler property owner. That's all I got.
Thank you. Next up, we have department heads. I just want to mention something that David said about Brian Lane was going to be here tonight. I think in some discussion we've had with Dave, I'm looking forward to seeing Mr. Lane here in his many different roles that he has between planning, zoning, stormwater. I think those would be some really good updates that we can look forward to in the coming meetings. First up, Public Works.
Just to give an update on the curb and crosswalk painting project. The paint is still currently on back order. So once that arrives, we'll begin working on that again. We were last in the Autumn Chase area, and then we'll continue heading south. Hope we'll get that paint in shortly, so we can get some more painting in before the winter starts. Crack sealing on Calumet Avenue north of 213th. Last year, we were supposed to have that taken care of, but due to the water main project being installed, we opted not to do it at that time because there was a lot of fracking in that road. They're going to do that in the next couple of weeks, so we'll get that all taken care of. Hydrant flushing and maintenance has been completed. Painting in most of the town has been completed as well, so we're going to start getting the color coding for the NFPA for fire departments. That way they have flow ratings on all the hydrants in the next week, and we'll have those all installed before the end of the year. And just to give an update on the water projects, again, contracts 1 and 2, again, all the main's been done. Right now they're doing all the restoration work, flat work, and getting all that stuff taken care of. 3 has been completed. 4, we're in the situation of just going over some nuances at the actual Cherville connection, getting the meter calibrated, and 5 is pretty much done as well. So that project is pretty much done. And that's it for right now.
Thank you very much. Parks Department.
Hopefully, everyone received this in their mail on Tuesday. It's part of an insert in the Times newspaper. It went to all homes in Dyer and into St. John as well. And we need to thank Holly Lopez, who's a part-time employee with the park department, who did all the work for it and spent an exciting amount of time doing it. And it really turned out beautiful. And you will continue to see this as an insert in the Times quarterly. So that the next one will be out in December. And the other thing is, I have here the proposal for the splash pad, which I have signed. I have talked to Chuck Gardner. I'm going to hand deliver it to him tomorrow morning. And then we're going to get started on this so that next year you will have a splash pad. The money is there. The project is here, the equipment and everything will be taken care of. And you all owe a lot of thanks to Frank, who did a lot of work figuring out how we could make this affordable. So, yay, Frank.
Frank's the first one in.
You know, I think he should have to stand under the giant dump thing. Because they already
You're just 3
explained,
votes away from that happening, so let's.
they already explained that the water will be extremely cold right off the bat. And I think he deserves it. Anyway, so we've got that. Also, Autumn Chase, the 3 extra playground pieces for smaller children were received by Public Works. And I'm lucky that Jeff is right next to me because he's going to arrange to get that taken care of possibly by the end of the week, which will be a wonderful thing for small children. And Central Park, we did a beautiful design for a hardscaped island for picnic tables and other activities. And I know that the town council is getting information on that. And we're hoping to work with them to get this done, ultimately with a nice pavilion over a third of it, so that it will be a really lovely thing to add. And the landscaping on the other islands should be starting within the next 2 weeks. We're also adding 8 large trees to the dog park, because when we went around and asked what they wanted, they said they wanted shade. So we're arranging to get that as well. The other thing is I'm overjoyed that Justin gets stuck doing this next month. And more power to him. But that's it.
Thank you. Chief Martin?
For the month of August, fire department responded to 150 total calls for service. We had 609 hours of training. August 29th, we actually had 2 cardiac arrest saves in the same day, working with our ambulance crews, both by the staffed engine. August 3rd, we had a pretty well involved structure fire in Briar Ridge. It was fantastic work by our first 2 personnel, our auto aid and mutual aid, salvaged a lot of structure for the amount of fire we had. We obviously have had a very large structure fire on Sunday in the township area. Our new cards, the auto aid training, the mutual aid training all came into fruition on Sunday. So everything, as President Starkey alluded to, is all coming into play. We considered the install of all of our smoke and CO detectors, installed and inspected multiple car seats. We held 2 Stop the Bleed courses, August 3rd and August 4th. We had 3 more Blue Card communication graduates. We had 2 start EMT Academy this month. We had 5 members participated on September 2nd in the Tunnels to Towers Run in honor of Stephen J. Siller. We had 11 members participate in the 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb on September 11th. We raised quite a bit of money for the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. We received 100 bicycle helmets from INDOT for our open house. We partnered with trucks so we could do bicycle safety for our youth in the community. We're receiving 1,200 more that we're picking up next Tuesday. Next spring, we're going to partner with St. John Fire and do a bike rodeo at all the elementary schools between our 2 communities. And if you don't have a bike helmet, you leave with one. October 8th from noon to 4 at Station 18 on Hart Street is our annual open house. We did receive a $5,000 grant from NIPSCO, so that is going to go directly to our smoke and CO detector install program. And we received the Assistance of Firefighters grant with St. John Fire for new SCBAs. That was a little under $500,000.
Thank you. Chief Walcott?
First, I'll give you the monthly report for August. 672 incidents, 50 arrests, 42 accidents, 277 citations, and 701 warnings. Those of you who are not aware, last night we swore in our 30th and our 31st officer, and we gave a conditional offer on the same day to our 32nd officer, and pending some tests, we should be back to full staffing. Also that our testing for applicants will be October 22nd. I believe we're up to 25 already, and we have some inquiries online. And October 1st will be a promotional exam for the corporals and sergeants. With that said, We also have tomorrow night is police appreciation night, and it will start at Lake Central High School. The parade will leave from, let me get the parade route exactly down. I just make sure that I had it. From Lake Central High School, it will go north on Route 41 to Route 30, east to Klein Avenue, north to Joliet Street, then east to 905 East Joliet Street at the Halls of St. George, where they were doing some presentations to families of fallen officers and have a little event for everybody. We invite the public to come watch the parade and be involved. It's something that is becoming a tradition in the region here that it happens every year. We're involved. St. John, Cherville, Maryville, Lake County Sheriffs, the fire department, even agencies from outside of the state come to it, and they recognize all law enforcement officers and their families. We're very appreciative of that and the people that throw it, that are involved with it, which is Jeff Rizel, and I believe, Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, if Mission One is involved also with that project.
I believe so, yes.
So we're excited about that. I would like to also thank Jeff for his people getting the crosswalk done on Hart Street. We want the public to know that when there's people in the crosswalk or the lights are flashing to stop, we still have to educate the public a little bit more about pressing the button, because I had a woman standing there, a young lady standing there that just sat there and waited. And I said, press the button, but I put on all my lights and made sure everybody stopped, and then educated her a little bit. So we'll be doing a little bit more of advertising on with that. Jeff is also working with some other areas, but you'll see a high visibility of patrol cars over there to try to slow cars down or educate them in a level that we stop them and talk to the public. So you'll see more of that. You've also noticed that the speed sign is out at Central Parkway and Calumet Avenue. And obviously, we still have the people that don't understand that 35 is actually 35, not 45, but we also know that that's what our goal was. So we're out there, we're going to be doing some more blitzes with that. The officers are doing safe arm. David, correct me if I'm wrong on that terminology for the buses, safe. I always forget the stop arm, stop. So you'll see dire police officers following the buses. They're going to be involved with that, along with the help from you guys next year with the grants. That we'll be seeing a lot more people involved, officers involved with grants in the area. So you see a higher visibility of police officers in the area that are doing grants, which actually helps us put more people on the street. And I thank you guys for being involved with that and the help with Dave and Frank taking care of that for us. We're very appreciative of that. The EOC, or the patrol office, is finished. If you guys want to come by and see it, that's our emergency operations center, and it's also our patrol officer. Again, Frank and Jeff's guys did a fantastic job, got that up and running, and it's something that I think is very exciting. Our officers are excited about it, and it puts us in another level with the Chief Martin's emergency operation plan and us getting our FEMA, putting us to another level between the fire department, police department, and public works. So we're more prepared for disasters and helping our community in time of need. It came out fantastic. As you know, we use the old radio room, and between Jeff and Frank's personnel, kept the cost to a lower level and getting it up and running. And we're pretty excited about it.
Thank you. Road projects.
Good evening. We have the 2022 local Avalon and Belden. Those projects are complete. We're going to coordinate with Dave and Frank on some issues with the contractor regarding punch list items and project closeout. The 2021-2 resurfacing projects, Reith Riley has completed those. We do have punch list, ADA tiles, and restoration, as always, is the biggest pain in the rear end, if you will. The 2021-1 reconstruction, they're on schedule for completion by early November. Carnation is substantially complete with punch items to remain. Edgewood has binder, and they'll be looking to finish the surface on that at the same time they do a shilling once they complete the utilities towards the end of next week, testing the week after. And then Sycamore, the curb repairs are almost complete, and then they'll move to do the mill and overlay on that at a similar time they do with Schilling and put the surface on Edgewood. I know you guys have seen the 81st and Hart project is finally completed. Thank you, NIPSCO, Lordy. And I drove by there yet this afternoon, and Reeve Riley went and did some additional restoration out there that Dwayne Alverson from the County Highway Department and I requested of them, of an issue on restoration. So they've been very responsive on the county's behalf. The Pazer and asset management plan will be submitted on time before the December 1st deadline to LTAP. And that'll make sure we're consistent with all of our requirements for INDOT to submit for CCMG for next year. So we'll, update those Pazers in the asset management plan. The 2022-1 reconstruction projects of Madison, 214th and Magnolia, all items have been submitted to INDOT and we are compliant on that. Other than restoration, any questions? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, ordinances and resolutions. We have ordinance 2022-17, an amendment to ordinance 2022-14. Water utility rates. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 2022-17 and ordinance amending ordinance 2022-14. The same being an ordinance establishing rates and charges for the use and services rendered by the waterworks of the town of Dyer.
I'll second that motion.
I have a first and second. Again, just to remind everyone, this is for a slight reduction.
Yep.
That was graciously given to us by the state legislature that they want credit for. So. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Alicia,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Bob.
Aye. I'll seek a motion to suspend the rules and pass ordinance 2022-17 on second reading.
I'll
I'll
make
make-
them.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules and pass ordinance 2022-17 on second reading.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call please.
Alicia,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Steve.
Aye.
Aye. Next up, we have ordinance 2022-18, an amendment to the salary ordinance. This is required for the start of our new public works director. This is the- I'm sorry. Uh-oh.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 2022-18 and ordinance amending ordinance 2022-01, establishing salaries, wages, compensation for the town of Dyer, Dyer, should be Lake County, Indiana for the year 2022.
I'll second that.
A motion and a second and a panicked public works director.
So again, what was the only change in here?
The salary for the director of Parks and Recreation.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alicia,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Bob.
Aye. I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules and pass ordinance 2022-18 on second reading.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules and to pass ordinance 2022-18 on second reading.
I'll second that motion.
Motion and second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alicia,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Bob.
Next up, we have ordinance 2022-19, amending our seated plan.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 2022-19, adopting amended 2022-23 seated capital improvement plan.
I'll second the motion.
A motion and a second. And Mr. Heim, would you like to elaborate that this was just a verbiage change?
Correct. This 2-year plan that we have to put together. Past practice was to have transfers from seated to general fund support. In a recent recommendation from the clerk's office, the transfers cannot be made from seated to general fund. The expenses need to be made right out of seated. but our verbiage did not allow for that. So all we basically did was revise the plan, which we are able to do, and remove the transferring the money out and kept it as the support that was originally intended for it.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Alicia,
I,
Alan,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Aye. You seeking a motion to suspend the rules and pass ordinance 2022-19 on second reading?
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alicia,
I,
Alan,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Aye. Next up, we have ordinance 2022-20, a temporary loan.
Make a motion to approve ordinance number 2022-20, providing for a temporary transfer and loan of funds of the town of Dyer, Lake County, Indiana in year 2022.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. This is for a loan from one fund on the water side to another fund. Is that correct? Just temporary loan to be repaid next year?
Correct. The term would be to be repaid by December 31st of 2023. It's shoring up funds for the end of the year with the last tax disbursement in December. Any further details, we can go into it a little farther, but it's just merely to allow for a fund to be shored up at the end of this year.
and then it will be brought back instead at the beginning of the year.
Correct. It will be as soon as possible when the tax draws come in, but it has to be according to this action, December 31st of 2023.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Alicia,
I,
Alan,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Aye. Be looking for motion to suspend the rules and pass ordinance 2022-20 on second reading.
So moved.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion?
was that Mary or Alicia?
best guess. We both said it.
At the same time?
Alphabetical. Roll call, please.
Alicia,
I,
Alan,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Aye. Next up, we have resolution 2022-26, transfer of funds. You'll find these in your packet. It's about a page and a half worth of transfers. I'd be looking for a motion to support.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2022-26, transfer of funds pursuant to IC 6-1.1-18-6.
I'll second the motion.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alicia,
I,
Alan,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Bob.
Aye. Next up, we have resolution